All right, guys, I got Richard's truck here. We got number 5 is acting a little funny, but let's go through here. We got right front speed sensor. That's the ABS. And then parking sensors. He's got a flatbed on it. It's probably none of them. Cylinder 5 contribution balance and misfire. So the fact that the misfire's in there, I mean, still could be an injector. It also could be valve train, could be rocker arm, something like that. ECU, internal fault, who knows if that's, it's got a mini max on it. So I'm gonna clear these codes out. Cylinder 5 misfire and contribution balance and right front. So passenger side. We are gonna do a chemical flush on this right now because I think it's got a 60-degree difference. Oil cooler's probably pretty much plugged up. Well, he brought this up from Arkansas and it needs a VC9 flush. I'm trying to drive. Maybe I got in the right spot. Whatever, it's hot. So, oil cooler. And I was just kind of driving. I mean, look at this truck. I mean, she likes to roll. I mean, the steering's off a little to the right. I have not felt the vibration yet. I wonder if I need to slow down a little bit. I don't know why everybody's wanting to go fast right now. So let's just get over here. I'm going to piss this person off. And I haven't really seen a vibration in it. It's actually, I don't know. We'll see. I'm still driving it, but I wanted to show oil cooler. That's why we're going to dig into this truck. It's got a mini max on it. It's 99,000 miles. So, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and get the coolant out and get it ready. I'd like to get the chemical flush done and then get EC1 in it and then put as many miles as possible before we actually take the cooler out. That's how I like to do it. We'll see how it all works out, but I thought I'd just show those numbers on there. I think I got them. Looks like brand new gold coolant in it too. The 6.4 normally is a little more resilient towards oil coolers, but this is a farm truck. I mean, it's probably not far-fetched. That physical dirt got in there. So, you know, this could be not a culprit of anything other than, hey, it's a farm truck. You open the coolant, it's in a dust storm, dust gets in it, dirt gets, who knows, you might even had a shovel load of dirt. I don't know, it was pretty dirty under the hood. It's a farm truck. It's a nice farm truck though. All right, Darian's cleaning it all out. We're gonna do cab mount, so we got to get the bolts loose. And we're taking everything apart. We got oil cooler going in this truck, undercover harness, turbos off, oil cooler off, everything off. He hasn't seen anything noteworthy yet. A little bit of leaking on the gearbox, just a little. You can see it around the top. I mean, honestly, some of this is probably just grime. We got low on the brake fluid, which probably means it needs pads. A little bit of leaking on the hydro boost. Honestly, they all leak a little. No, not they all, but it's not uncommon for it to have a little leak on it. They'll get bad, real bad, and they'll start soaking the carpet down inside the cab. It gets nasty. But Darian's been over here busting away at it, and I figured I'd go ahead and show some progress of where we're at with it, because it's going to be a pretty substantial job. He's getting a radiator, cab mounts, radio, get rid of the coolers, put our exhaust on it, oil cooler undercover harness, probably might as well put some thermostats in it. We'll see if the coolant pump's leaking. Whatever, you can't see it. We'll look closer at it. All right, here we are, guys. Look at this. Oh my God, that's pretty. I mean, that's just pretty. I mean, I'm telling you what, it's beautiful. Okay, I was sitting here looking at it. It's really not even close. Richard, let's just think about this. This truck, I guess, has grossed 60,000 pounds kind of on the regular. What I was first thinking was exhaust manifolds. You know, after all this work's going through, radiators leaking, we're gonna put valve train on it, exhaust, you know, coolers, all that stuff, everything's getting done. So how pissed off is everybody gonna be when, look at where it's at right now. This sucker pops an exhaust manifold bolt, you know, in like 3 months or something. No. Okay, so at that point, let's yank the manifolds. Yank the manifolds, and actually, I haven't been doing 18 foot-pounds. 18 foot-pounds is not enough. Guys, if you're going to tighten them to 18 foot-pounds, it's not enough. I mean, bump it to like 22, but I'm telling you, you go to 28, you're probably going to break them. Yeah, like 22, a little bit tighter than 18, because they back off. But I've been telling them, I had to learn that the hard way, but I've been telling them that I'd rather have it back off and fall out than be too tight and break. Okay, because of I've already went through that on the video about my theory about the exhaust manifold bolts between 6 liter and 6.4. We never break 6 liters. We break 6.4s all the time. So, and I go into that about another video. It's the spacer, built-in spacer, my theory. The built-in spacer versus the actual probably 10.9 regular spacer that comes on a 6 liter. I'm getting off course here, but whatever. Look, you know how long it would take from where we're at right now to, I mean, it'd take the most time to actually do the machining on the heads. I mean, we could have the heads off in minutes. We want to go ahead and stud it, put a set of lifters in it. At that point, we need to make sure that everybody's aware that this will be a stock piston truck. Okay, I want everybody to know that, because I mean, sometimes trucks live their whole freaking lives, never have a piston issue at all. Some trucks, that's not the case. Some trucks, they do have piston issues, right? So what I'm just getting at is, I mean, Richard loves this truck, man. He loves this truck. So the last thing we want to do is overstep a dollar, or overstep a dime, or whatever the heck the phrase is. I don't know what the hell the phrase is, but the last thing we want to do is that. I'm just throwing all the options out right now, and it's substantially more. I mean, we're talking a little bit more, but it's just, things get real. This is kind of like Meadows block right here, exact same thing, 6'4". I'm getting ready to put it together. Things get real when you're actually sitting here looking at it and thinking, you know, the studs, who knows if we need them. I mean, we've driven it for quite a bit, and I didn't, you know, head gaskets, I mean, they got I mean, 6'4s don't really suffer from it. Okay, they do, whatever, when you turn it up, but they don't really suffer like 6-liter. Studs are bigger, the bolts are actually bigger, but that would also allow us to put a set of lifters in it. I mean, even though it's only a 70,000 mile truck. I'm just throwing out all the pros, and then cons is, you know, of course, cost. But the pros would be, you know, you would get fresh exhaust manifold bolts. Suck to pop one. I got plenty of videos on exhaust manifold bolts that have been popped. You get studs, you'd get lifters. It all started because I sat here and looked at the exhaust manifolds. So if we want to take the manifolds off, we can just do that. If we want to leave it all at this point right now, we can absolutely do that too. We can do whichever one. The one thing that's really cool is we definitely don't need to take the front cover off. It looks good. It's beautiful. They cavitate right there, right here on this spot. You can see a little discoloring, but it's nowhere dug in the material, so we're good. Right now, I guess sky's the limit. You know, hell, we could put it over there. We could go ahead and yank this sucker out and put some ceramic pistons in it, and, you know, I mean, we can do it all. This truck runs good. I mean, it did. Everything was on it. DPF and all that crap was on it. No. It was just the coolers, wasn't it? It was? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm remembering now that this was already tuned. It was already done. So all we're doing is hardware, basically. Manifolds, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, but the bad thing about manifolds, and why I didn't just say, you know, yeah, it's $30 in bolts or something like that, new gaskets, you know, clean them all up real good. But if we go ahead and do the manifolds and we break one, I can't fix it for free. So that's where the question would be, you know. We're not, that's actually a good thing. I'm glad Darian didn't take them off until right now, because if one breaks and it turns into a booger, some of them do in chassis. Some of them do. If it does, I would much rather not touch it. You know what I mean? And hopefully you don't get grumpy with me thinking that I'm trying to finagle, but I just, you know, there's a point. I mean, I've spent hours laying under these trucks, drilling on freaking manifold bolts, go home at night covered with metal shavings. I mean, if you want to, well, I'm not talking to Richard, I'm just saying in general as public. If you want to come lay down there with me while I'm drilling, and then, I mean, I'll do it for free. You know, we can do it together. but as far as like me being at a, you know, shop setting, having to fix those broken exhaust manifold bolts because of something that we did preemptively without the customer's approval, yeah, that's not where I really want to go. Because those exhaust manifold bolts have broke many a heart in this world. I tell you that right now. I've been in that bay before and justified ourselves all the way to this before over broken exhaust manifold bolts. So that's why I kind of put a big importance on it. I at least want to discuss it. Because Richard brought this truck from, I mean, he drove quite a ways. It was a whole day deal. I think it was just one day. I think he drove up and then drove back home. He's from down south. So I don't want to leave stones unturned. If we do, let's turn it up a little bit and look at it and discuss it, at least by discussing it. So that way there won't be surprises, you know, in the future ownership for Richard of the truck. You know, I'd like to basically discuss all the areas that I have had seen issues in these. So that's where we're going with it. You know, throwing it on video is the best way, because when I do this, it's locked in and you can go back and watch it and you know, take notes, which, I mean, when you're spending a sizable amount of money, I mean, when I do that, I would take notes on stuff. I want to write down what's going on, okay, this and that, and what do we want to do, and what will we do, and how much is this and how much is that. You know, there's a, even at this point right now, there's still a massive amount of planning that is going on. Richard's AC, that's why we left this all kind of ghetto-fied laying down here, because his AC was golden. It worked good. I mean, was it hot? I mean, I remember I turned it on and it was cold. So we have not disrupted it. I look at it as, if we do not have to open up the AC system, don't. I mean, we got the machines and all that crap, we can do it, but, you know, I'd like to leave the accumulator exactly in the state that it is in now, unless we have a reason to open it. You know, if we have a reason to open it, then right on, there you go, let's go through and do what we do, but right now we have no reason. And ACs, I tell people all the time, they are the most under-repaired system on a vehicle. If any part of that, I mean, unless it's a leak or something, but if that compressor chunks stuff through it, it's done. Replace every single pit of it, which sucks. I've rambled enough. Thought I'd throw the potential heads, exhaust manifolds, possibly. You know, I think I've covered it. So have a good day, guys. We got Richard's truck here going back together. That looks good. Darian's doing good. Looks good. We did leave the rocker boxes. We left the manifolds. We replaced 2 of the bolts that the bracket was on. There's those 2, and then the 2 back behind it. See them? Those 4. The front ones are always the easy ones. The front 4 on both sides, they're always easy. So that's not so much of a big deal, but it's the back ones that get funny. And he said that they were kind of sketchy getting even the front ones out. So, but we went ahead. He already ran valve train, got that done, injectors in. I'm not making videos fast enough to catch up, damn it. So I guess this is what we get. But we did put his old rockers back on. And honestly, I did not make it in time to make a video of it. There were none that were worn. So you know what? If something happens to this actually is a 100,000 mile truck. If something happens to it, you know, he said he's going to keep the truck forever. So there you go. No use in going all crazy because these I looked at them, and these rockers, I mean, in a slow idling world, they probably have 150, 200,000 miles left in them, easy. He said if something happens to it, he'll just rebuild the whole thing. So then at that point, let's back up a little bit and just stick to the task. Get rid of all the other stuff. Get the oil cooler gone. That was the #1 thing. It had 60 degrees. It was 60 degrees off. And honestly, it kind of gave him a chance to look around, you know, be able to know that his front cover as of right now is good. You know, that's kind of nice. So we're going to button it up and did the undercover harness. That got updated. We're going to put our up pipes on it. All the stuff here. He's still putting things together. All the parts with the cab mounts in it. Here's all of his other stuff over here. Second biggest, I mean, you know, try to clean it up. It should look like almost a brand new penny. Should, except I don't know. I think we got a complex about the aftermarket air filters. I think. I don't know, which not that there's any reason. I'm serious. There's not. Look, it hadn't been cleaned yet. That's what I'm just poking fun at it. Parts down here being cleaned. What's going on back here? Oh hell, we still got farm stuff in the back. Heck yeah. Oh, here you go, right here. Now these are bad for rusting. The CAC tube, it comes off the turbo. It's bad for rusting. We've replaced them. So what we did, we cleaned up the top and then clear coat at the top. But down here, this is actual paint. This is the same paint we put on the exhaust manifolds, just to try to coat it, just to try to protect it, because that thing gets rusted. They do, and then if you get rusted, I mean, you either got to do quite a bit of disassembly to get it out, because that thing doesn't just come right out. Nothing like a 6-liter. So we'll try to put some paint on it, clean it up, maybe give it a pretty much longer life. I'm over here. We got the front and rear covers on Meadows' truck. Got pistons and rods. We're getting ready to final clean and start shoving those together. But Richard's going together. It shouldn't be too long. We'll see. Who knows? Have a good day, guys. Morning update. It's Friday. Darian's, I'm sure he's planning on buttoning this up today. Just take a look around. Front cover looked good. We put it back on there. The coolant pump did not show signs of leaking. Basically save what we can. Getting ready to put the cab mounts in and turbos, and he's got the turbos back here. It's dark. I could turn the lights on, but I'm not gonna, because there ain't no use. Oh, I did not show radiator hoses. Okay, these updates right here, these are your old ones, and they have the black elbow right there. Those are single O-ringed hoses. I'll show you here. They needed the white. It's a Ford update. You probably already know. A lot of you watching this already do know about that. Double O-ring in it. That's supposed to help for Well, and you know, that's a little funny because this is a 100,000-mile truck. It's not a real old truck, right? But that is supposed to help against cavitation, because what is said is, you know, coolant leaks introduce bubbles into the system, and then they get to the coolant pump and it acts as if it sandblasts the front cover. So this kind of begs to differ here. I mean, his front cover looked absolutely phenomenally beautiful with single O-ringed fittings. Here, he's got hoses in it, but look, those are single O-ring. There's only one in them on both sides. Only one. And one of them still has one O-ring. Now, engineers came up with it. I don't have a freaking clue what made a decision to say that only this one has double O-ring, because the normal thought process would say put 2 O-rings on every freaking one of them if you're going to do O-rings on any of them. I mean, why the hell not? But whatever. Yeah, just thought it through. Look at that. See, that's so beautiful. Just goes through, disassembles. I know he had the thread chaser out. There were some bolts, some threads screwed up on that. That was interesting for him. He's probably not all the way done with the inside groove of that. I'm just guessing. We'll see. Okay, let's hope this survives, Richard. If it doesn't, then I'll have to buy you one. Darian, I don't know. I think he's got a little bit of bull in China cabinet when it comes to this specific part. He has no problem anywhere else in the entire planet except this freaking tube right here. I mean, he messes with the other tubes and all that, but we have learned, so we have one in the building ready just in case, because, you know, sometimes that little booger right there, you know, it's fine when it's new, but when it gets old and it gets brittle, and, you know, the tolerance of how much it will allow to just a little flex here and there, yeah, the tolerance goes way down and you wind up splitting that thing. What a drag. And if you really don't catch it, then you put the whole truck all the way together, and then you find out, oh man, I split it and cracked it. But normally that would be when you're vac filling and whatever. So, all right, just a quick update video. I'm just rambling on. We'll probably make another one. We just shoved pistons in Meadows' truck last night. I'm getting ready to do oil pan, and oil pan's right there. Got a last bit of clear coat on it. Got everything in. Got the rod shoved in and torqued. Piston protrusion's actually pretty beautiful, but this ain't about Meadows. All right, guys, have a good day. All right, guys, we got Richard's truck again. We did this yesterday. Let's do it to another one again. All right, you ready? Front end check. Let's check the track bar. Yeah, it needs track bar. Okay, let's watch this. Hang on, let me get it so I can do it. Okay, so it's got some up and down movement, but like I said in the last video, I mean, the side to side is where the real problem is. I mean, up and down, but I mean, you know, it's not tight. Not too tight, but not. Okay, what we got there? Okay, we got side to side on the bottom one, so that one's done. The top one, I mean, you know, you get to a point where you might as well do the top one too. I mean, doing both. But now since that bottom one's bad, that does alignment. That means we need an alignment after we're done. That one looks like it's got some up and down on it. No in and out, it looks pretty tight. Okay, now we'll watch the ball joint, the track bar ball joint. Hang on, let me see if I can get it to focus on that. I mean, it's got some play, so yeah. All right, so track bar ball joint, I mean, questionable on the ball joint. Track bar, you know, I'd replace the track bar rather than pressing the bushing. I mean, I think track bar is a lifetime warranty. So hang on. Okay, so by manually outside, this does lock and unlock. We're not sure about auto, but let's see how the U-joint spins. I used to try to spin it, but let's just watch it, look for any binding. All right, turn the other way, Julie. Keep spinning it. Oh, just look for any tough spots where the axle jumps. I should go on the other side, but we'll keep watching it. We can see it. Honestly, that one's working. It appears to be functioning. No jump spots. You know, if we go in for ball joints, we generally push to go ahead and replace those. But, you know, I mean, we at least want to make sure that it works. Okay, we're good on this wheel. Okay, that's how we check the ball joints. they look tight. Let's check this upper. It's hard to do holding the hand. I need a, yeah, I mean, obviously you can't see any movement, so we're good. Okay, this little guy right here, this wheel right here, it does not spin as free. Got, I mean, you know, we could do like a little Band-Aid deal where you take the front rotors off and pump some grease into the wheel bearing through the ABS hole. You know, you can try that. Might be the wheel bearing getting a little sticky, you know. But the problem with throwing that in there is you wind up getting it in the vacuum hubs, and then it won't, it'll clog up the vacuum line right there. All right, so you got it locked in. Julie, turn it to the left. It's working good. All right, turn it the other way. Just want to make sure it doesn't, I'll get a video. I know I've never made a video of this, but I'll get a video showing a bad one. Bump stops are kind of shoot up. Those things aren't bad. You just pop on. Let's check these ball joints. We lift it by the center in the middle of the axle to check steering and all that so we can turn it. But I did go ahead and have them check this ball joint, but it's a lot easier. I think it shows a lot more definitively if you have one wheel on the ground and then you jack it up by one side. That way that wheel is stationary. It's a lot easier to get the ball joint to move, to make sure that we're not, you know, because sometimes it, whatever, if you get it, you get it, I don't know. All right, right there, that's what I'm talking about. All right, if you move it differently. Hang on, let me see if I can get it an actual. Can you see it? It's moving. Oh, I can't hold my hand good enough. Let's check the top. Go for it. Here, let's just do this on the, right there. Touch it to one of them. See it moving? But it's the axle actually moving on the ball joint. I mean, you could argue right there, tighten the upper ball joint a little bit. Let's look at it. Let's see if you can see it. Just a little bit, minute movements. Okay, good. So, you know, if you lift it up by there, but that's, well, I mean, that's like not catastrophic at all. Okay, so this one has about the same movement. You know, they're not, I don't know if you can see it. Very minute, very minute. All right, good deal. So that one is a little, I mean, doesn't spin as good. We'll just say that. So, kind of a drag. Really? A drag? Do you get it? All right, for right now, we're gonna check the shift on the fly and see if the vacuum hubs, see if everything works. We're not gonna be working on it right now, but we're just gonna see if it works to see if we can check it off the list. Okay, that one locked, hang on. The hubs do work and they lock and unlock manually. So if you go down and you lock it in manually, yeah, see that one's a lot harder to spin. I would almost say we need to take this wheel, we need to take this apart and possibly put a wheel bearing in this one. That thing is hard to spin. We need to see if the brakes are dragging or something's dragging, but yeah, that one's pretty hard. Okay, so they do work manually. So we're in two-wheel drive right now. I'm spinning the tire. Okay, go for it. Okay, go to four-wheel drive. Give it a second. We'll give it a second. We don't expect it to be instant. Okay, no lock. Okay, so we got no auto. Could be a vacuum seal. Could be a vacuum line. Okay, this one don't either. So we got, or vacuum hub, pulse vacuum hub. So we got a list. All I wanted to do right now while it's in here is see if it worked. So, yeah, so we got an issue there. That's enough. I just want to check the steering and the ball joints. Might as well go ahead and record it. All right, guys. Have a good day.